In the ancient realm of the Leoa people, the skies erupt with thunder and jagged bolts of lightning, lashing down upon a mist-shrouded land kissed by the sun. Here, in one of Africa's most remote and awe-inspiring corners, a spectacular natural drama unfolds, an epic migration rarely seen by human eyes. Tens of thousands of blue wildebeest surge forward like a living tide, embarking on a relentless 250-kilometer odyssey. They march away from a scorched, cracked earth that has thirsted for rain for half a year. This is not just a migration. It is the final great passage. Wildebeest and zebra thunder across the plains, muscles coiled with urgency. They're not just chasing salvation in the form of lush, green pastures. They're desperately outrunning death itself, with cunning hyenas in deadly pursuit. This is the last migration, a raw, untamed voyage across Africa's forgotten wilderness, a story of survival, instinct, and the fierce rhythm of life on the move. Welcome to the last migration, a journey across Africa's forgotten wilderness. More than 20 years ago, the Leoa Plains had fallen nearly silent. Unchecked hunting by humans had devastated wildlife populations. The migration of 60,000 blue wildebeest had dwindled to less than half. Cape buffalo numbers dropped to under 50 individuals. Lions were pushed to the brink of local extinction, leaving only one, Lady Leoa, to roam in quiet solitude. But thanks to bold and determined conservation efforts, nature has slowly begun to breathe life again. In the dry season, when temperatures swing nearly 30 degrees Celsius between day and night, a few scattered wildebeest graze cautiously around the last remaining waterholes. Lone lions move in silence, their eyes locked on the faintest motion. Hidden in the heavy grasses, they stalk with the stillness and suspense of a landscape holding its breath. Only when thunderstorms roll in, bringing heavy rain and gusting winds, does the Great Migration truly begin. More than 45,000 blue wildebeest surge forward, joined by plain zebra and nearly 700 red lechwe. This antelope migration also draws in around 350 spotted hyenas, the dominant predators of the plains. African wild dogs make no sound. They communicate through glances and rhythmic footfalls, spiraling outward to encircle the weak and vulnerable. The Leoa Plains, during this breathtaking migration, transforms into a living maze of survival, with no clear way out. Stretching across more than 3,300 square kilometers, Leoa is a spectacularly open expanse. There are no towers, no mountains, no dense forests, just an endless sea of grass, flat as paper, where the horizon wraps around the earth and sky with no edge in sight. The climate here is distinctly tropical monsoon. The rainy season lasts from November to April, delivering an average annual rainfall of around 960 millimeters. Thunderstorms can bring wind speeds over 60 kilometers per hour, though they rarely cause lasting damage to the landscape. During the dry season, daytime temperatures often soar above 35 degrees Celsius, while nights can dip below 10 degrees Celsius. Yet even in these harsh extremes, Leoa lives on. More than 50 species of mammals call this place home. The skies above record more than 357 bird species. Water birds are most abundant during the peak flood season, when Leoa transforms into a vast wetland. In contrast, the dry season, after months of battles for survival, turns the land into a gathering ground for scavengers. As the earth cracks and dry winds scatter the brittle grass, Leoa enters its most unforgiving moment. The dry season descends like an unrelenting warning. Waterholes vanish. The plains bake under the sun. Life is squeezed into the few remaining pockets of moisture. With temperature swings between day and night nearing 30 degrees, the environment becomes a relentless test of endurance. As water grows scarce, the distribution of wildlife begins to shift. Animal populations cluster tightly, ecological interactions intensify, and the delicate balance of the system grows increasingly fragile. As the scorching sun sweeps across the grasslands, the blue wildebeest stir, preparing for their grueling journey. They follow no fixed path. Instead, their route is a complex seasonal circle, mapped not on paper, but deep within instinct and collective memory. Each year, as the rains retreat and the plains lie bare, the herds leave the dry lands of the north and northeast. They move toward the Mushangashi floodplain, where the last green grasses and waterholes remain. This is the cycle of survival. This is the rhythm of Leoa. As food becomes increasingly scarce, wildebeest are forced to adapt their diet. Although they typically prefer short grasses during the dry season, they must now settle for low-growing, less nutritious plants, even leaves. It's not the ideal choice, but it's a necessary one for survival. The herds grow more alert, cutting back on daytime movement to conserve energy. Instead, they gather near waterholes during the early morning and late afternoon. The very appearance of the blue wildebeest tells a story of endurance and adaptation. With broad, muscular chests, they are built for stamina, perfectly suited for long-distance travel. Their silvery coats, which range from gray to brown, help camouflage them across the plains while deflecting the harsh glare of the sun. Their horse-like tails and flowing manes are more than distinctive features. They serve as vital tools for communication within the herd. Blue wildebeest possess a complex communication system essential for maintaining order in a constantly shifting environment. The deep, resonant calls of the males can carry across distances of up to 2 kilometers. Alongside vocalizations, they rely on scent glands located on their feet, as well as chemical cues from urine, to mark territory and reinforce social bonds. Wildebeest move not only in search of sustenance, but because their survival hinges on unity. Living in large herds, they form a rapid response network where each individual watches, reacts, and moves in concert with the signals of those around them. Scientists refer to this as swarm intelligence, a natural mechanism that allows the herd to navigate threats and challenges as a single, cohesive, ever-aware unit. In the relentless heat and dust of the dry season, the sight of a wildebeest herd crossing the cracked grasslands becomes a powerful symbol of resilience. Moving with quiet confidence across the golden plains are some of the most iconic creatures of the savanna, the plains zebra. With bold black and white stripes that ripple like shadows across the grass, they are nature's living artwork, no two patterns alike. Each stripe tells a story, a code written by evolution, whispered across generations. They roam vast landscapes, from the highlands of Ethiopia to the arid edges of Namibia and South Africa. Their striking appearance is more than just a visual marvel. Those very stripes may serve as a built-in cooling system, channeling air across their bodies, or a clever defense, breaking up their form to confuse the biting insects that plague the open plains. In the remote plains of Zambia, small tight-knit groups, called harems, move as one. A dominant stallion stands guard, flanked by his mares and their young. This family bond is vital, especially when the land grows dry and unforgiving. As water vanishes and the grass turns brittle, the zebras begin an ancient pilgrimage. Some will journey over 1,100 kilometers in a year, following hidden highways across the wilderness, paths etched in memory, winding toward secret springs and fleeting floodplains. But the plains are not without peril. When danger strikes, zebras don't just flee, they react as a unit. One twitch, one startled breath, and the entire herd explodes into motion, a blur of muscle and instinct. This is survival, not just by speed, but by solidarity. At full gallop, they can reach up to 65 kilometers an hour. Yet even this may not be enough to outrun the teeth of a lioness. When cornered, a zebra's last defense is brutal and precise, a double kick, powerful enough to shatter bone and buy precious seconds. But even then, survival hangs by a thread. One misstep, one moment too slow, and the predator's jaws close around the neck. Once the mighty roar of the lion fell silent across the plains of Zambia. By the close of the 20th century, they had vanished, ghosts of a vanished kingdom. Alone in the tall grass, one lioness remained, Lady Leoa. She wandered the empty savanna as a lone sentinel, a living relic of what had been lost. Her presence was quiet, her gaze unwavering, a symbol of resilience in a land that had forgotten its kings. But from her solitude, something remarkable happened. A new generation emerged. Among the first to reclaim this forsaken domain was a lion unlike any other, Bon Jovi, a male with a wild, regal mane reminiscent of a rock legend. His presence was magnetic, his stride full of purpose. Like a young king returning from exile, he brought with him the thunder of paws, the thrill of the hunt, and the ancient rhythms of the savanna. Though Bon Jovi was later relocated to Kafue National Park for the safety of nearby communities, his story marked the beginning of a stunning revival. The lions had returned. These apex predators are more than solitary hunters. They are social strategists, bound by blood and hierarchy. Lions live in tightly knit groups known as prides, usually 1 or 2 adult males, several related females, and their cubs. This structure is key to their survival, especially in the harsh dry season, when prey is scarce and competition is fierce. Unlike other big cats, lions are built for cooperation. Together, they defend territory. Together, they hunt. And in the dry, breathless heat of Zambia's plains, their prey, plain zebra, wildebeest, even buffalo, know that danger often comes when thirst drives them to the water's edge. They fan out like seasoned warriors, each knowing her role. Some crawl low through the grass, others swing wide, flanking unseen. These ambushes are not random. They are rehearsed over generations. And when the moment comes, when the gap closes to just meters, the silence shatters into chaos. Biologically, lions are giants, the second largest big cat species on Earth. Males can weigh up to 225 kilograms, females up to 150. Their signature manes are not just for show. They attract mates and protect vital areas during brutal fights for dominance. Then there is the roar. Thunder, rolling across the savannah, heard up to 8 kilometers away. A proclamation of power, a warning to intruders. But even the kings and queens of the grasslands are not guaranteed a meal. Only 20 to 30% of their hunts end in success. Every failed attempt drains their energy and tightens the grip of hunger. And for the pride's youngest, those still too small to join the hunt, each missed opportunity can mean the difference between life and death. The return of lions to this land is not just a conservation success. It is the rekindling of a legacy. A reminder that even when silence falls, the wild remembers. On the cracked earth, the slender footprints of a cheetah press into the fine dust, one of the few signs of one of Leoa Plains' most elusive hunters. In the face of drought and rising competition, the cheetah's journey becomes a striking glimpse into refined evolution, where speed and strategy converge in a delicate art, the hunt. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth. It can accelerate from 0 to 96 kilometers per hour in just 3 seconds, faster than most sports cars. At top speed, it reaches up to 105 kilometers per hour. Its entire body is a blueprint of specialized adaptation. A long, flexible spine acts like a spring, stretching with each stride. Slender, muscular legs operate like precision levers, and semi-retractable claws function like track spikes, gripping the earth with remarkable control. Together, these features give the cheetah unmatched speed and maneuverability. But that speed comes at a cost. Each chase is a high-stakes sprint, rarely exceeding 300 meters and lasting less than a minute. Sustaining such velocity causes the cheetah's body temperature to rise rapidly, demanding immediate recovery. Every pursuit is a gamble. To maximize their chances, cheetahs hunt during the cooler hours of early morning and late afternoon. These windows not only offer relief from the heat, but reduce encounters with dominant predators such as lions and spotted hyenas. Unlike many carnivores, cheetahs rarely scavenge and almost never feed on carrion. They rely entirely on their own hunting prowess, making precision and timing a matter of survival. Among the world's big cats, cheetahs are socially unique. Females are solitary, raising cubs alone until they are old enough to survive independently. Males, in contrast, often form small groups known as coalitions, usually made up of brothers. These coalitions enhance their ability to defend territory and increase their chances of encountering females during the mating season. Cheetahs do not roar like lions or leopards. Their vocal range is more delicate, consisting of soft growls, high-pitched chirps, and short hisses. Gentle, almost ghost-like sounds that mirror their quiet presence on the plains. As of 2024, the number of adult cheetahs in Leoa Plains is estimated at just around 18 individuals. It's a modest figure, but deeply significant in light of the species' rapid global decline. Today, the total number of adult cheetahs in the wild stands at roughly 6,500. Most are found in Namibia, Botswana, and a scattering of protected areas across eastern and southern Africa. In Leoa, conservation efforts are underway to link the reserve with neighboring ecosystems, particularly the eastern reaches of Angola. These initiatives aim to expand wildlife corridors and improve genetic exchange between isolated populations. Protecting the cheetah is about more than just preserving numbers. It's about securing the species' genetic integrity, a critical factor in resilience to disease, environmental change, and the uncertain future that lies ahead. Unlike the cheetah, the African wild dog, also known as the painted wolf, is among the most socially organized carnivores in the animal kingdom. Each individual wears a uniquely patterned coat of black, pale yellow, brown, and white, as if painted by hand. These vivid patterns serve as visual identifiers within the pack, helping maintain cohesion during long-distance hunts across the open terrain. Their large, rounded ears are not only adept at detecting distant sounds, but also serve a thermoregulatory function, dissipating heat, an essential adaptation in the sweltering climate of the Leoa Plains. At the heart of every pack is an alpha pair. The dominant male and female are the sole breeders, while the rest of the pack rallies to help raise the pups and support one another. This tightly knit social bond has shaped them into one of Africa's most successful hunters, with coordinated hunts boasting a staggering success rate of up to 90%. Their strategy is nothing short of extraordinary. Organized like a military formation, each member plays a distinct role, chasing, flanking, or cutting off escape routes. As the prey tires from minutes of relentless pursuit, the pack rotates positions, blocks exits, and scatters the target's focus until escape becomes nearly impossible. This collective intelligence extends beyond the hunt. It is visible in how food is shared and how every member, young or old, injured or healthy, is looked after. In the world of African wild dogs, survival is not about individual strength, but about unwavering cooperation and mutual support. Once extinct in this region due to hunting and habitat loss, the African wild dog has made a remarkable return. In 2022, a pack of 11 was reintroduced to the Leoa Plains through a collaboration between African Parks and the Zambia Carnivore Program. The rewilding effort surpassed expectations. The pack adapted swiftly, established new territory, and successfully bred, marking a hopeful new chapter in the species' story. Today, their growing presence is more than just a conservation triumph. It is a living testament to the rewards of protecting wild spaces, an echo of nature's resilience, gifted back to those who chose to defend its purity and power. Above the stillness of the dry season in the Leoa Plains, a silent predator soars hundreds of meters above the earth. Majestic and aloof, the martial eagle surveys the land below with piercing focus. Under the clear blue skies, its wings, stretching over 2.5 meters, cut through the air with effortless grace. There is no urgency in its movement, only the quiet authority of a creature utterly at home in the vastness of the sky. The martial eagle is Africa's largest eagle, reaching nearly a meter in length and weighing up to 6.5 kilograms. With talons powerful enough to snap a human forearm, it commands the air with both strength and precision. But it is not size alone that makes this raptor remarkable. It is vision. In the dry season's pristine light, a martial eagle can spot prey from as far as 6 kilometers away, an almost unfathomable range that outmatches any other predator in the ecosystem. When it strikes, it does so with lethal speed, diving at up to 160 kilometers per hour. Its legs descend like twin spears, honed by millennia of evolution, delivering fatal blows in a single, calculated moment. Yet survival here demands more than strength or speed. It's a test of endurance. As antelope herds move in search of scarce water, the martial eagle too must adapt, often flying dozens of kilometers a day to find prey, while staying clear of increasing human activity that encroaches on its range. Even at the apex of the food chain, this formidable hunter is not safe. The martial eagle is now classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature as of 2024. Habitat loss from expanding agriculture, collisions with power lines, poisoning from contaminated carcasses, and direct shootings, mistakenly seen as a threat to livestock, all contribute to its decline. With a slow reproductive rate and vast territorial needs, even small disruptions to its habitat can trigger devastating effects. Its fate now hangs in the balance, a symbol of power, grace, and the fragility of nature at the edge of survival. As the martial eagle concludes its powerful dive, a hush falls over the grasslands. Just a layer higher in the sky, another presence begins to emerge, quiet, steady, and just as vital. The arrival of the white-backed vulture signals a continuation of the natural cycle. While the blazing sun transforms the Leoa Plains into a shimmering sea of golden dust, the vultures ascend in wide, deliberate spirals. Their patient flight reveals a different rhythm of life, one deeply tied to their role as nature's sentinels. The white-backed vulture is one of Africa's largest and once most widespread scavenger species. With a body length ranging from 78 to 98 centimeters, a wingspan that can reach 2.25 meters, and a weight of up to 7.2 kilograms, these birds are the gatekeepers of the sky. Their distinctive white backs are most visible when wings are fully spread, while their bald heads and necks allow them to feed deeply within carcasses without risking infection, an evolutionary adaptation that makes them exceptional in their role as nature's cleanup crew. Their keen eyesight allows them to detect carrion from great distances. During the dry season, when herbivores such as blue wildebeest and plain zebra succumb to dehydration and exhaustion, the white-backed vulture's role becomes essential. Often gathering in flocks of hundreds, they can strip an average-sized carcass clean in under an hour. Their powerful digestive systems are capable of neutralizing deadly bacteria and viruses, preventing the spread of disease throughout the ecosystem. In this way, they don't just recycle death, they preserve life. Once estimated to number around 270,000 individuals, the population of white-backed vultures has plummeted by more than 80% over the past 50 years. By 2024, they are listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. The primary culprits: poisoning from pesticide-laced carcasses, veterinary drugs such as diclofenac, and even intentional poisonings aimed at eliminating lions. Each loss sends ripples through the delicate web of the savanna, in the dry vastness of Leoa, where every breath is a contest between life and loss. The white-backed vulture is more than just a scavenger. It is nature's final filter, keeping the land clean, the ecosystem balanced, and the cycle of life in motion. Though often misunderstood and maligned as harbingers of death, these birds may be among the most essential creatures of all. Sometimes, the most overlooked beings hold the greatest importance. As the storms return, bringing rain to green the parched earth, the Leoa Plains welcome a dark-hued cavalry riding across the grasslands. Each heavy step of the Cape buffalo sinks deep into the softened ground, carrying with it the breath of an entire ecosystem. An ecosystem driven by the strength of the herd and the inherited memory shaped over millions of years. The Cape buffalo is the largest remaining wild bovine in Africa, often nicknamed the Black Death. Due to its unpredictable nature and fierce ability to fight back, a full-grown male can weigh between 870 and 900 kilograms and stand up to 1.7 meters tall at the shoulder. Its curved horns form a solid bone shield known as a boss, a formidable weapon in standoffs and a crucial defense in battles with predators. Though females are smaller, they possess a sturdy build, perfectly suited for their role in defending the herd. Unlike many migratory species, Cape buffalo do not leave Leoa during the rainy season. Instead, they shift laterally within the region, moving from higher ground to areas where fresh grass has sprouted with the rains. Their adaptability to wetlands and saturated terrain allows them to access food year-round without the need for long-distance migration. Their movements follow a directional pattern guided by the experience and memory of older individuals. Their primary tool for survival is scent, allowing them to detect water sources and threats like lions from over 2 kilometers away. Though their eyesight and hearing are unremarkable, their acute sense of smell, combined with herd memory and collective awareness, keeps them alert during the hours when predators are most active. Cape buffalo society is built on unity and coordination. Herds can range from just a few dozen to over 300 individuals, guided by the wisdom of the experienced. When threatened, they do not scatter. Instead, they band together, large males forming a protective barrier around the more vulnerable females and calves. Numerous accounts have recorded lions being killed during such coordinated counterattacks, a powerful testament to the buffalo's collective strength and the deeply ingrained instinct to protect one another, passed down through generations. During the rainy season, Cape buffalo act as living lawnmowers across the landscape. Each adult consumes around 15 kilograms of dry grass per day, approximately 2.2% of its body weight, enough to sustain their massive frames. Their bulk feeding helps regulate vegetation height, opening access to food sources for ground-dwelling birds and smaller herbivores. Additionally, the gentle trampling and soil compression caused by their movement aids in the regeneration of grasses and boosts microbial activity, enriching the soil during the wet season. On the lush green grasslands, a small antelope with gracefully curved horns thrives in great numbers. The red lechwe, with its long, narrow hooves, steps lightly across the soft mud, as if it were born to belong to this very place. Black markings on its forelegs stand out like signs painted by the hand of the Creator, helping them recognize one another amid the misty floodplains filled with the steady chorus of croaking frogs. In Leoa, water is not just the source of life, but the setting for every biological rhythm. Around 700 red lechwe live here year-round, according to the latest 2024 report from African parks. Unlike the blue wildebeest or plains zebra, they do not migrate far, but shift their movements in response to changes in water depth and the quality of submerged vegetation. When the water reaches the right depth to awaken fresh grasses along the banks, the lechwe move in. And when the water rises high enough to submerge the pastures entirely, they gradually retreat to agricultural areas where the water is just knee-deep, sometimes blending with herds of migrating blue wildebeest in search of greener fields. The red lechwe's body is biologically optimized for a semi-aquatic lifestyle. An adult male can reach up to 1.2 meters in height and weigh approximately 120 kilograms, with females slightly smaller. Their fur is coated with natural oils that repel water and help keep them warm even after spending hours submerged in chilly floodplains. They also use water as a living shield. When pursued by predators, the entire herd bolts into deeper waters, relying on their swimming skills and swift movements to evade capture. This strategy often causes the pursuer to slip, lose momentum, or abandon the chase altogether. Their survival depends not only on speed or strength, but on how skillfully they adapt to their surroundings. They know how to move with the flow of water, graze on just the right grasses, avoid dangerously deep zones, and coexist peacefully with species like the plains zebra or the oribi without direct competition. In doing so, the red lechwe becomes a vital link in the wetland ecosystem. They regulate the biomass of aquatic plants, create safe corridors for foraging birds, and serve as a potential food source for native predators. With their compact build, they are a familiar target of the night's silent ruler, the elusive leopard. It doesn't rely on a thunderous roar or unmatched speed to survive. What keeps the leopard thriving is silence, patience, and pinpoint precision, a solitary hunter navigating a world awash with water. In Leoa, only a small number of leopards have been recorded, mainly in areas of higher ground and along channels where vegetation remains above the floodwaters. Though their population numbers just a few dozen individuals, this is enough to maintain their role as top predators, even during the rainy season, when most herbivores retreat to shallower waters. The rainy season in Leoa brings both opportunity and challenge. As water spreads across the plains, herds of wildebeest, zebra, and red lechwe shift toward newly emerging grazing patches that rise from the flooded landscape. But with this change, the terrain becomes unpredictable. For the leopard, every step demands careful thought, seeking safe trails and avoiding patches of mud that could slow a leap and turn the tide between success and failure. Unlike lions, which often struggle in wet environments, leopards move with ease thanks to their moderate body weight, ranging from 40 to 70 kilograms depending on sex, and their ability to evenly distribute pressure across all four limbs. They avoid long chases, instead approaching from behind or the side. Using bushes, elevated ground, small ridges, or even the sound of falling rain as cover, one focused leap aimed at the neck and nape is often enough to bring down their prey. During the rainy season, when the scent of blood is easily washed away, the skill of dragging a carcass into the trees becomes crucial. Hoisting the kill high protects the meal from scavengers and minimizes the scent of decay, helping to avoid attracting raptors or other predators that might challenge the leopard for its prize. The rainy season also signals a time of new life. While leopards do not follow a strict breeding calendar, the high humidity and abundance of small prey create ideal conditions for raising young. After mating, the female seeks out a hollow tree, tall grasses, or an abandoned mound, places where she can give birth and care for her cubs in silence. Litters typically consist of 1 to 3 cubs, who remain hidden for the first few weeks before beginning their journey into hunting at around 4 months old. Leopards live solitary lives without complex social structures. They do not share territory or food. Each individual marks its range using urine, scat, and claw marks etched into dry tree trunks. During the rainy season, when water disrupts scent marking on the ground, leopards shift to marking tree bark and rely more on deep rasping growls to assert their presence. Today, the leopard remains classified as vulnerable, with populations declining across many regions due to human conflict, poaching, and deforestation. However, in Leoa, the conservation system managed by African parks continues to provide a relatively safe environment for this elusive species. Though seldom seen, the leopard's presence here stands as a quiet testament to its enduring strength, a silent ruler of the night who holds its ground with grace and resilience. At Leoa Plains, nearly 45,000 blue wildebeest gather, forming Africa's second largest migration, surpassed only by the great herds of the Serengeti Mara. Driven by ancestral instinct, the wildebeest sense the shift in seasons long before the first drop of rain falls. They feel it in the moisture carried on the wind, the distant rumble of thunder, and even the subtle shift in the earth beneath their hooves. They do not rush, yet they are never late, because they understand this journey is not about wandering, it is about survival. This migration is not random, it is an annual cycle. Each stretch of land, each patch of grass, each watering hole carries the memory of generations past. The herd moves through muddy depressions and crosses flowing streams along the roughly 250-kilometer route of the Leoa Plains. Though only a quarter the length of the Serengeti's famous migration, the path here is no less perilous, with predators lurking nearby. At times, the herd splinters into smaller groups, weaving through safer corridors, but they always reunite, gathering on higher, drier ground at the heart of the plains. Every individual plays a part in the collective safety of the herd. With no clear leader, they rely on constant observation of one another. When danger strikes, the herd instinctively forms a protective circle, placing calves at the center while adults face outward. This movement resembles a small whirlwind skimming across the floodplain, visually striking yet deeply strategic. Leoa is not just a temporary refuge, it is a place of renewal. At the end of the rainy season, the calving period begins. After a pregnancy of roughly 8.5 months, females give birth just as the grasslands begin to dry, providing clearer visibility to better detect approaching predators. Within minutes, the calves are on their feet and walking, a vital trait for a species defined by constant movement. With a clear ecological role, the blue wildebeest acts as a tireless gardener of the grasslands. By grazing on short grasses, they make space for taller grasses and shrubs to thrive. Their steady movement helps regenerate the soil, circulate nutrients, and sustain biodiversity across the plains. When one falls, its body does not mark the end of a single life. It sparks the beginning of countless food chains. The final breath of a wildebeest may nourish hyenas, vultures, and even the land itself. Seen through the lens of faith, this closed-loop migration is more than instinct. With nothing but survival as their compass, their journey across hundreds of kilometers brings them to the right place at the right time, year after year. There is a quiet wonder in this rhythm, like a whisper from nature, silent yet unwavering, guiding life within a universe in constant motion. Nothing on Leoa during the season of rising waters happens by accident. For the blue wildebeest, each rainy season marks a new chapter in a survival story, written not just by nature itself, but also by predators and partners alike. As the rains rise, herds of plains zebras converge from the park's edges toward the heart of the plains in search of fresh grazing. thousands of zebras form large, mixed groups alongside the wildebeest and other herbivores, a living testament to the vibrant and interconnected life on Leoa Plains. Fossil evidence reveals that the ancestors of the spotted hyena inhabited grassland regions as far back as the Pliocene era, making them one of the most evolutionarily resilient carnivores on the continent. Contrary to popular belief that they are primarily scavengers, recent research shows that over 70% of their diet consists of prey they hunt themselves. Modern behavioral ecology studies, including field surveys by African parks and Leoa, confirm that spotted hyenas can achieve hunting success rates of up to 67%, surpassing even lions in some environments. The physical strength of the spotted hyena lies in its exceptionally powerful jaws, capable of delivering an average bite force of over 758 newtons per square centimeter. This unique dental structure enables them to crush large bones, horns, and hooves with ease. Their ability to digest nearly the entire carcass, including the calcium in bones, makes them a crucial link in the ecosystem's nutrient recycling chain. Hunting tactics of the hyena are remarkably adaptable. They can hunt alone, in pairs, or in small groups of 4 to 6 individuals. In special situations, such as during wildebeest calving or large herd movements, they may band together in coordinated groups of dozens, working to pressure and scatter the herd before isolating vulnerable targets, like the young or injured. The surge and encircle behavior, frequently observed during hunting, is a clear example of this strategic cooperation. In Leoa Plains, the spotted hyena population is estimated at around 200 to 300 individuals, mainly concentrated in higher ground areas surrounding seasonal rain-fed wetlands. Unlike wildebeests or zebras, they do not undertake long migrations, but the home range of each clan can expand greatly depending on environmental conditions and prey density. During the rainy season, when much of the grassland is submerged and herbivore herds gather on limited dry ground, hyenas take full advantage, making their hunts significantly more efficient. The social structure of the spotted hyena is remarkably complex. Each clan can include up to 80 individuals, governed by a strict hierarchy in which females hold absolute dominance. Rank is determined not only by strength, but also by lineage, with offspring of high-ranking females inheriting higher status. This system maintains internal order in an environment where cooperation is essential for survival. Communication plays a vital role. With more than 11 distinct vocalizations, spotted hyenas send signals across long distances, express excitement or submission through their iconic laughter, and convey social emotions with sounds like groans or squeals. The spotted hyena is a master of adaptation, thriving in diverse environments, from vast savannas to open woodlands and semi-arid zones. They can be active both day and night, adjusting their behavior based on hunting pressure. Their survival during the rainy season in Leoa is a striking example of nature's adaptive spirit. Spotted hyenas endure by reading their environment, responding to its cues, and remaining deeply connected to their community. A vivid image of natural intelligence hidden beneath spotted fur and that haunting, echoing laugh. Zambia faced its most severe drought in over 2 decades, a crisis intensified by prolonged dry spells linked to the El Niño phenomenon. This drought brought about a drastic reduction in rainfall, dwindling water sources, and widespread food shortages, compelling the government to declare a national disaster. The disaster impacted 84 of Zambia's 116 districts, including Western Province, home to Leoa National Park. Many members of the local community, deeply involved in the care and protection of the region's wildlife, were pushed into hardship. Although specific data on wildlife mortality rates during the drought is lacking, the negative effects on the ecosystem and the surrounding communities were unmistakable. In response, the Luanakika Community Resource Board, alongside 10 community action groups, launched a $250,000 relief program. This initiative delivered transparent food aid to around 1,500 households across 10 affected communities, including the Leoa Plains. It stands as a testament to the community's resilience and solidarity in the face of adversity. Following a harsh period of drought, the Leoa Plains has embarked on a journey of recovery. The reintroduction of buffalo, lions, and African wild dogs has seen these species successfully breeding again. By this time, over 20 lions had established residency, while the migration of 40,000 blue wildebeests continued to sustain the ecosystem and attract rare bird species. Conservation efforts have been bolstered by trap cameras, GPS tracking, and a workforce composed of more than 95% local residents. These measures contribute to long-term ecological monitoring and sustainability. Alongside food relief, regular environmental education classes and livelihood programs have been launched to help the community adapt and live in harmony with nature. Thanks to the tireless cooperation between people and the environment, Leoa Plains has come back to life. Yet, to ensure that migratory patterns remain uninterrupted by climate change and that the calls of lions and the wings of cranes do not fade into memory, every action taken today holds vital importance. Reducing our ecological footprint, supporting conservation programs, and raising awareness about biodiversity are essential steps to protect Leoa Plains and countless other ecosystems around the world quietly calling out for help. If you have ever visited Leoa Plains National Park to witness one of Africa's most untamed journeys, or taken part in the Coca Festival celebrated by the local Loi people, your stories and experiences can inspire others. Sharing them helps fuel conservation efforts and the protection of rare wildlife, preserving these precious ecosystems for generations to come. A leopard is one of the most formidable big cats of the African savanna, a land of extremes where survival is a relentless battle. This vast wilderness stretches endlessly beneath a scorching sun, its golden grasslands swaying with the rhythm of migrating herds. But this is no peaceful paradise. It's a ruthless arena, where dust-laden winds whisper of both life and death. Around 10 million years ago, Africa was covered in dense forests. However, nature is never still. Tectonic shifts reshaped the land, uplifting highlands and drying the once lush landscape. Over time, the forests receded, giving rise to sprawling grasslands. Thus, the savanna was born, sculpted by destruction yet brimming with life. Today, the African savanna spans over 5 million square miles, from the arid Sahel in the north to the floodplains of the Okavango in the south. Each region tells a different story. The Serengeti, a vast sea of grass where migrating wildebeest and zebra create waves of movement. The Masai Mara, a battlefield where lion prides lurk along dusty trails. And the Okavango Delta, a miraculous oasis that breathes life into an otherwise parched land. Every creature has a role in this ecosystem. The giraffe reaches for the highest leaves, the buffalo defends its herd with horned armor, and the leopard, solitary and elusive, masters the art of concealment. He is not the king of the savanna, but he is its silent phantom, a true master of camouflage. A leopard's hunt is never predictable. It is a dance of strategy and instinct, shaped by the raw power of a predator and the desperate will of prey clinging to life. Each chase, each ambush, and each moment of struggle is a testament to the leopard's adaptability and relentless pursuit of survival. Now prepare to witness the journey of this solitary hunter, a tale of growth, instinct, and the unforgiving beauty of the wild. The African savanna never sleeps, a vast, untamed land stretching endlessly like an ocean of golden grass. The wind whispers through the tall blades like crashing waves, while the relentless sun scorches the earth, pushing temperatures beyond 104 degrees Fahrenheit. In this unforgiving expanse, every creature is locked in a constant battle for survival. For the leopard, a solitary predator, this is a brutal arena where every breath is earned. Millions of years ago, its ancestors journeyed from the dense forests of Asia, braving deserts and conquering this rugged landscape. They evolved, adapting to the extremes, their very DNA forged by the demands of survival. Every trait the leopard possesses, its strength, stealth, and resilience, is a testament to nature's relentless refinement. A masterpiece of evolution, the leopard's body is built for both power and grace. Supple muscles ripple beneath a golden coat, its black rosettes like scattered sunbeams piercing through shadows. Males can weigh up to 176 pounds, while smaller females average around 132 pounds. Their sleek bodies range from 4.25 to 6.25 feet in length, with tails extending up to 3.75 feet, perfectly designed for balance, speed, and agility. This athletic prowess allows them to scale 20-foot acacia trees with ease, staying beyond the reach of rival predators. Their piercing eyes, glowing like starlight, grant them night vision 7 times stronger than a human's, turning darkness into an ally, the night into a hunting ground. But in the wild, survival is never guaranteed. Unlike lions, the leopard has no pride to rely on, no herd for protection. It lives and hunts alone, its existence shaped by instinct and skill. Each leopard fiercely defends its territory, which can span anywhere from 7 to 50 square miles. Invisible boundaries are etched into tree bark by sharp claws, reinforced by scent markings, unmistakable warnings to intruders. This is the life of a leopard, solitary, relentless, and unmatched in the art of survival. By 2 to 3 months old, leopard cubs are no longer the fragile newborns that clung to their mother. They begin engaging in mock hunts, playfully stalking and pouncing on each other, mimicking the strategies they will one day need to survive. From the safety of a tree trunk, they observe, test their ambush skills, and refine their movements. Though still clumsy, each attempt brings them closer to mastery. Their mother encourages these games, allowing them to test their strength while also teaching them to immobilize prey. Every pounce, every swipe, and every twist mimics the techniques they will use in the future. These playful skirmishes are not just for fun. They are critical training exercises, strengthening muscles, sharpening reflexes, and perfecting the art of silent movement. With each leap, they learn to control their bodies, balance on uneven terrain, and strike with precision. Wrestling with siblings or ambushing from the undergrowth, they practice adjusting the force of their claws and the grip of their bite. These skills, refined over months of practice, will one day determine whether they thrive or fall to the relentless forces of the wild. Across the vast savanna, leopard cubs refine their skills through practice, targeting small creatures to perfect their stealth and balance. Each play session is more than just a game. It sharpens their observational abilities, teaching them to read the wind, identify safe paths, and calculate distances with precision. These lessons are not just about hunting technique. They also instill patience, a vital trait for a solitary predator. In the endless grasslands, every missed leap and failed pounce is a lesson in resilience. Mock hunting is nature's way of ensuring survival skills are passed from one generation to the next. These early trials not only strengthen their muscles, but also cultivate determination. Young leopards quickly learn that survival is not about brute force alone. Intelligence, patience, and the ability to remain calm in the face of failure are just as crucial. The towering trees of the savanna serve as both shelter and training grounds. Here, cubs transform weaknesses into strengths. Climbing is more than an escape tactic. It is a survival skill that sets leopards apart from other big cats. With unmatched agility, they ascend tree trunks with razor-sharp claws, their developing muscles straining with effort. From a young age, they practice on lobed branches, perfecting their balance and control, knowing that a misstep could mean injury or worse. Yet mastering the climb is only part of the challenge. Equally essential is the art of concealment. In the savanna, being seen often means being vulnerable. A leopard's golden coat, marked with dark rosettes, blends seamlessly into the dappled sunlight and shifting shadows of the treetops. Silent and motionless, young cubs learn to become one with the branches, their keen eyes scanning the world below, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Hidden in plain sight, they embody nature's perfect balance of power and stealth. Survival in the dry season is a relentless challenge. Temperatures soar beyond 100 degrees Fahrenheit, baking the land and evaporating what little moisture remains. Once thriving waterholes shrink into muddy puddles and rivers turn to dust. With water vanishing, all eyes turn toward the few remaining sources of life. Elephants, zebras, and wildebeest travel in vast herds, migrating for miles in search of greener pastures and drinkable water. But not all animals can leave. For the solitary leopard, the dry season presents immense hardships. Forced to adapt, it must navigate an increasingly hostile world where every hunt is a test of endurance. As water becomes more scarce, tensions rise among predators and prey alike. The savanna is no longer an abundant hunting ground, but an arena of survival where only the swiftest and most cunning endure. Hyena clans dominate the last remaining waterholes, their powerful jaws capable of crushing bone with 1,100 pounds of pressure per square inch. They are relentless competitors, ready to fight for every scrap of food or drop of water. For leopards, these formidable rivals pose a constant threat. One misstep could mean losing a kill or even risking their lives. In this harsh, unforgiving world, survival belongs not to the strongest, but to those who can adapt, outthink, and outlast the dangers that lurk in the heat of the savanna. Leopards have mastered the art of survival through thousands of years of evolution. When the blistering heat drains the land of water and life, they rely on silence and camouflage to endure. Their golden coats, adorned with black rosettes, are both beautiful and deadly, an impeccable cloak of invisibility in the dry grasslands. Moving with ghost-like precision, they glide across the savanna, each step carefully placed to avoid detection. Sensitive to every vibration in the earth, they melt into the shadows of the bushes, elusive and nearly impossible to spot. This is how they evade the ever-present dangers lurking around them. Unlike lions with their raw power or cheetahs built for speed, leopards survive through intelligence and adaptability. They understand that confrontation is not always the best strategy. Instead of competing for heavily guarded waterholes, they travel farther, seeking less contested sources. At times, this means enduring thirst, but it is a sacrifice that they willingly make to stay safe. When a young leopard reaches the stage of hunting independently, it does not immediately target large prey like impalas or Thompson's gazelles. Instead, it begins with smaller, more manageable creatures, such as the scrub hare. This agile animal, weighing between 3 to 5 pounds, can leap up to 3 feet high, bounding through the tall grass like a living spring. Its speed is enough to make any predator sharpen its focus, yet compared to larger prey, it remains an ideal first target for a leopard learning to refine its hunting skills. For a leopard, stealth, not strength, is the key to catching a scrub hare. Each movement must be slow and deliberate, gliding through the golden grass without making a sound. One misstep, a slight misjudgment of distance, and the hare will sense danger, vanishing into the vast expanse of the savanna. According to the 2023 Savanna Predator Behavior Study, young leopards have an approximately 60% success rate when hunting scrub hares for the first time. An impressive figure, especially when compared to the far greater challenges they will face in future hunts. These early kills are not merely practice, but a critical stepping stone in their development. The thrill of a first successful hunt is indescribable, like the first light of dawn after a long night. As the young leopard feels its prey go limp between its jaws, a surge of triumph floods its body. Joy, excitement, and pride course through every muscle. This is not just a meal. It is proof of survival. A confirmation that it is ready to endure the harsh and unforgiving world of the savanna. Leopards possess remarkable strength and adaptability, even demonstrating the ability to catch barbel fish weighing up to 10 pounds. This is no small feat, considering the fish's slippery body and powerful thrashing, which make it a challenging prey. With their long, sleek forms and sudden bursts of energy, barbels are adept at escaping predators, forcing the leopard to rely on patience and precise timing. Hunting at night does not hinder the leopard, it gives them an advantage. Their keen eyesight, powerful muscles, and lightning-fast reflexes allow them to react quickly, even in water. When facing small but elusive prey, leopards use more than just strength. They employ strategy. Blocking escape routes and waiting for the moment when the fish tires, they strike with deadly accuracy.